All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beers with Batch here on Inside Lowell. We've got a great show. Well, I don't know if it's great or not, but should be a good show tonight. This is our third or fourth episode?
Third show.
Third show? We've got some special guests. Do you want to introduce? Jackie's here with us. You want to introduce our guests for us?
Yes, I'm super excited about the show today. We have Luta here with us.
Well known in the Lowell community.
Very well known, more well known than we are, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
And we have Ricotta as well.
Oh, very well known.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If you guys want to talk about where you work, start with you.
So I bartend at Bar 25 in New Bayport 2 days a week. And I work for Modern Eddie Classic Wines. So I'm pretty much boozing people up 5+ days a week.
Very nice.
And I work at 1981 Ramen Bar about 4 days a week. We're open 5. And yeah, I'm pretty much boozing people up as well behind the bar.
Job to have.
It's a good job to have.
I don't know which job I'd rather have.
We do the same thing. I just, have the 9 to 5 aspect. I go from account to account.
Yeah.
Anything from liquor stores, bodegas to restaurants, mom and pop shops. But then I also just bartend and get people nice.
What's the what wine is it again?
Well, I work for the Modern Eddie companies, the
Yeah.
classic fine wine division. So I saw anything from like Dashwood to Heights to Jordan to Honig to Hall.
Like distributing.
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. But the point of the podcast today.
Oh.
Well, can I just say one thing about ramen though?
Yes.
What a great place.
Thank
It is
you.
such a gem in Lowell. Pete does your boss does a great job. Like
He
it's a
does
very
an amazing
welcoming
job.
place. It's fun to be there. What's that stuff you guys always give us?
Soju.
The
Soju.
soju, yeah, we're very
You can't
known
go
for
wrong with
our soju. We're
You
we're
can.
known with chasing our
You can't go wrong with
customers.
soju.
Yeah, we
I
chase our
have.
customers with soju.
Oh, I've gone wrong with it too.
I have a story.
Oh yeah,
That's why we're here.
And your man Pete too, by the way, one of the best collections of like Japanese whiskey around.
Oh yes.
If you like Japanese whiskey, you got to go in there.
Yeah. We
Now, I
have a good selection.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Fuse, of course.
Yeah.
One of my favorite places to hide. Nobody knows I'm there, which is great.
Yep.
Also
Great
one
spot
of my
to be.
favorites as well.
Have you guys been in for the jazz yet? It's been every now and then, but Andy from UMass Lowell.
Yep.
What's his?
Fordyce. I was like scared to say it wrong. But yeah, he works at Middlesex and he teaches music, but he has a jazz trio. They
Wait, I thought he was
actually-
at UMass Lowell.
No. I don't believe so, Andy. I don't know. I think it's
No
Middlesex.
quotes.
No. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, they have a jazz trio and they play somewhere in Newburyport as well. And then he was like, "Hey, we want to play here." And people loved it. So we did it
I like it. It's good. It's
when
good
they're
stuff.
free. Yeah.
So what we wanted to talk about tonight was Jackie and I were talking about like just what if you get a couple of some well-known busy bartenders together and what kind of stories would tell. And so of course me being me, Jackie did all the work and came up with you guys. So I'm sure you don't want to rat out any old places or get yourself in trouble, but I guess
I'm always in trouble.
Or rat out each other.
we can rat out each other. I don't think anything we care. And my experience, I've done a little bar. I mean, so I used to bartend at the Athenian Corner outside Thursday nights when they used to do it before. I don't know why. Well, I guess before they would like tore up the parking lot and stuff. We used to do that. And then I used to work at Old Majors on Jackson Street, bartending. And
When it was the size of this room.
Good little hole in the wall.
That was a great little hole in the wall.
Legendary spot.
So I'm like, I only did it every now and then. I can only imagine the stories that you guys have. So let's go to the Wayback Machine. Now you've been doing it. I assume you've been probably doing it longer.
Yeah. I feel like I'm still a rookie, so
Yeah, you're about what, like 15 right now? No, I'm just,
yeah, I'm 17.
Yeah.
we love our underage bartender.
I remember sneaking him into spots when he was like underage.
Oh yes, Moonstones.
No name drops, but yes, Moonstones.
Yeah, no.
No way, really?
No,
No.
We'll just go.
that was a joke.
I think it's tough. Well, so when I was a kid, it wasn't that hard getting in places. I mean, I looked like I was 21 when I was like 13. Like I had braces on. I could just walk in like this and I get shirts, and it was a lot easier than it is now. I feel like now, like especially some of the places especially one place in particular on Middle Street, I think it's almost impossible to get in if you're underage.
Yes. Oh, and fake IDs are pretty good now.
Yeah, I've seen that. They've got the little
scannable ones.
Yeah, they even got the little reflector thing.
Yeah, I can't.
But you know
I
what?
can't
You
tell.
can tell.
How
You
can you tell?
when someone is underage.
Oh yeah, by their
You
demeanor.
can 100% tell because
Your demeanor.
they're super nervous with the delivery. Like this has happened before where there was a server and she came in from the patio and she was like, hey, you know, I'm not so sure about this. Can you check it out for me? So I look at it and like I have a scanner app on my phone, but I didn't want to grab my phone. I was like, let me just go out there. And it was like 5
There's a
dudes.
scanner app?
Yeah, it costs money, but I got it after this
Talk about
this
that after the
incident
show.
because I wanted to like
Uh-huh.
you know, let me just go feel it out. So I walk out there and it's these 5 dudes and they look like, I don't know, they're probably college kids or something. And I'm like, so what's your house number?
Oh, you're going into-
I'm at school
what's your
right now.
address?
That's where you live. That's where you grew up. You can't spit out the house number. Get out.
Oh, you gotta memorize your ID. That's
Come on,
like,
bro.
you know,
I was like, get out.
There's a lot of rookies out there.
Well, like,
Oh, yeah.
And they
it's
just
also
wanted
as
to
a
eat.
guy, it's like
It was
They
the
don't
end
really
of the late
think.
night menu, but I was like,
if
all
you're a
right.
guy, you gotta know that stuff. If you're
Yeah.
a girl, nobody cares.
Yeah.
No.
So that's what I mean is I feel like you can tell a little bit with stuff like that. Because there's been a few incidents like that where I wasn't so sure. Or there was one time there was a girl who she just had that same
that same
that
demeanor,
same
nervous.
lack of confidence. And then I
Yes.
think she ordered a Cosmo. She sat down. It was about 5 o'clock on a Friday. And I said, can I see your
That's
ID? And then she said it's in the car. And she never came back.
Oh,
So I don't know
Oh
if I
my
got
God.
stung or, which means like a
Mhm.
secret shopper situation, like to see if I was going to ask
Yeah,
for
like
the
an
ID
EDC.
or.
I like to like hold the ID and then hold your hand. While
Like
Hold
the
your hand.
customer?
Yeah, you know, like every ID, I'm like, I'm having a full-on conversation while I'm looking at the ID. And if you start to sweat and you can't make eye
Oh.
contact, I know, right? That's a fake ID.
Oh,
You know, it's just,
you really do that?
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to like
You know,
sweat and
I'd be
not
like-
guys,
like,
I
have-
give them
I have
daps,
sweaty
you hold them, you
palms
talk to them.
always.
Yeah. The girl, I'm just like, so tell me about yourself. How you
oh
doing?
my God.
Like going back and forth like that.
Oh my God.
Hands
Not a
sweaty.
bad idea.
Get out of here.
So with the IDs, I don't know where I learned this from, but like you bend it slightly, and if it like snaps like instantly, like
Oh.
it's like fake. It's a
Like
fake.
a laminating
Yeah,
machine.
yeah.
I see.
So
Oh.
like yeah, and it's happened a couple times. I was like, well, this is fake, and they would try to argue with me, like, well, you just broke my ID. I'm like, we can call the cops right now, and we'll see if it's a real ID or not.
Right.
But like that bending technique really
Oh.
worked. Yeah.
I still remember Stephen McCone from I think it was Kingston, Rhode Island, was one of my early IDs.
What?
Kingston. Oh
That was
wow.
his name. That was where he was from.
You
That-
were- you
I
were
can still remember.
remembering.
Oh yeah.
So mine,
Oh, yeah.
I had a couple fakes, but they were real fakes. If that made sense, it would be like my best friend's boyfriend that was like of age, and I would use his ID.
We had-
in
Oh,
places.
like back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. We
had a-
Not right now.
We had a
obviously.
pretty good hookup. It was a guy. Somehow somebody knew a guy, right? And it was they worked at the registry out of state. It was Rhode Island. And when they take the pictures, they'd show people the picture and be like, "Oh, this is like a terrible picture," and they'd throw them in the bin, and they'd take the ones from the bin and they would sell them. Like obviously you can't. This is like
Oh.
well, it's like 1989. Like I don't think you could probably do that anymore. But it was a good ploy. And then we weren't bad kids, but we had some scams. So what we did was we found a bunch of stuff in the woods that looked like weed, and we told these kids that this was all weed. I don't know what it was. It wasn't weed, and it was just leaves. There was no buds on it. These kids were idiots. We sold them like a big like bushel sized thing. I don't know what a bushel is, but it was like a big ton of like
Man.
stupid reeds, and traded them for a fake ID. And they went home and they dried it out and they smoked it. And I don't know if they even pretended to be high, but we ended up with a fake ID out of it. I used that thing for like a year and a half.
Damn.
It was pretty good. Those are the old days, though. You can't do that anymore.
No.
And it definitely wasn't weed, but like, hey, this looks like a weed. Do you think they'll believe it's weed? It kind of worked out pretty good. Until, I used it at a store in New Hampshire and got caught. That's a whole other story.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think people even try as much as they used to.
The fake IDs?
Yeah.
No.
I think the kids aren't. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing, but they're not doing that.
I don't think they drink
Yeah.
anymore.
No, I think
You'd be surprised.
being in the weed topic, I think they're all like smoking and just
Yeah, because it's less social and they can just sit by themselves and look at their phone, hi, and text each other.
that is
Whatever
true.
it is.
I
know.
do that out in public. That's no difference. I always had to have a slight edge to my demeanor.
There you go.
Constantly.
So I'll tell you though, if I was bartending or bouncing all the time, I think one of the worst things about doing it was dealing with people that were drinking, being sober the whole time. There's nothing more annoying than being around drunk people when you're sober.
See, I could do that for years until I worked downtown. So I've always respected like the bartenders at Downtown Lowell because I'm like, how the fuck do you deal with me?
Yeah.
And everyone else who comes in? And I started working at the Keep. I'm like, damn, I gotta see you guys every day. Like
The
people,
guests?
guests,
You mean?
friends,
Yes.
everybody. It's because I've always
Yeah.
worked on the outskirts. I've worked in Chelmsford,
Mhm.
and I worked in
Oh,
Woburn. So like the Keep was my first actual like I'm
in your town.
in my town. I'm serving
Mhm.
my friends, and I'm like wow, I do not like you guys. I like you guys if I'm going out with you.
If you're in that
If you're at
same
my
mode.
house. But if you're coming to my bar, you're sitting down in front of me, I want nothing to do with you. If you've been drinking for like 3+ hours, because you're just like friends just they raise their hand, they try to get your attention. I'm like, hey, you love me, right? Like, let me take care of these people, and I'll come back to you. And they just start looking at you like this, and they're like,
No, really.
you want a shot? I'm like, no, I don't want a shot. So now I caught myself having to drink more, just to level myself out with like my friends that come in.
I hear that.
Does anyone else have that feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah, they put that pressure.
Yes.
Mhm. I shouldn't feel pressured like working and
Yeah.
Not at all.
and like
You
at
gotta
all.
have fun.
No, you should be the, you
Yeah.
should be the last
I'm
person.
trying, I'm trying
Yeah.
to make my money,
Yeah.
and and I'll come to you like when it's your turn. So
Yeah.
it's fair for everyone.
Yeah. Like if your friends come in, if you come in and your friend's bartending, you wait for them to be ready to serve you. You don't.
That's the code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the way of life.
I got to tell you though, one thing that I've noticed. So I mean, like I said, I haven't bartended in a while, but like if you come in late, like if you're somewhere or you work and like you come out, everybody's been out hot for a while, and you come in and you're way behind.
Yeah.
I'm never prepared for the volume. I can't believe how loud some people can get, and you just like your regular, conversational tone. I'm always when I'm out, I'm always worried that am I too loud? Because I've seen like been around other people, and I'm like, I feel like I'm yelling right now, and sometimes I don't even know it.
No names, obviously.
Yeah.
There was some loud
wonder-
motherfuckers at the
I
bowl. I'll
wonder.
tell you that. There was some like human trumpets out there.
No.
Those people. Now I'm getting going. I didn't even drink anything to say. It's like those people like they just have to be in your face when they talk to you.
Oh,
You know what
close
I'm
talkers.
And I'm like, I'm trying to make a cocktail. And this one guy he just telling me his life story. And I consider myself a good actor, right? Like we're behind the bar, we're on Broadway. Whatever issue you have, you leave it in the back door. You come in, this is your stage. I have many different characters I play. I play the asshole, the charmer, and I play the bro if I want to, or just the dick, So it depends on the day, depends on the day of the week, how I feel. So this one guy is just talking to me the whole time. I'm just like, my man, I don't care for your story. Like I'm working this crowd, just let me be me. So he's like, comes up, he's like, yeah, but I feel like you need to hear me. I get no names.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
He's just coming at me,
I want to meet
bro, smelling like fucking the devil. Just talking. So I give him a shot to shut him up. He's like, you're not gonna take one with me? So I always have a dummy bottle of my well.
Mm-hmm.
I drink mezcal all the time. It's water half the time. Take one to shut him up. So the second time to shut him up again, I accidentally gave him the water.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
I took the
man.
mezcal. So he's like, he looks at me, I look at him, I'm like, what? You just keep talking, bro.
you win.
I didn't want him to
man.
wrap me up. I'm like, you just keep talking.
Did he notice he
You
had
think he
water?
He
Or was he just
looked
like that way?
up at me. While he took the shot, looked down, did my face change, and he was just like,
He's a good actor.
all he could do was just shake his head. I'm like, you know what? Don't rat me out. I won't. I'll just leave you alone. Just here's a couple drinks on me, and that was it.
Yeah. I'm surprised he was smart enough to put that together, that you were like not trying to be wasted.
wait, how did you put it? I don't like the story. How did you put it?
I didn't like the story he was telling me. I was in.
That's a really good way to get out of a conversation.
I don't like the story.
shot.
Like,
I don't really
relate
like
to
the story that you're
Here's
telling
the
me.
shot, And that's what I do a lot. Like, I don't like storytelling. I'm a very blunt person when I'm behind a bar. When I'm not, I'm like kind of quiet because just to myself. But he put me behind that stage, and he wanted me to be a dick, so I just had to be a dick. But then he caught me taking a fake shot, so then I had to be a nice guy.
Like, the whole gig's up, man.
My whole gig's up. Like,
This is it.
you know, I
You're
can't
blowing
pretend
it
to
up.
be drunk right now. I'm like, oh.
Oh man.
Like you got to be a quick hitter when you're talking to a bartender. You can't be telling like a long, drawn out story.
They do.
Oh, and then you're moving around and you're like, I've seen it. Like,
He's like,
people,
but I wasn't finished. I was just like, well, I have.
You are finished.
I was like, you are finished.
yeah, that's what.
I have a whole bar to attend to as well.
That's like what, like, I don't know, Wednesday at 4:00 is for. Like when there's nobody around, you want to chat. There's nobody there. Full bar, you got to go in and just say a couple things, and that's it. You can't just be going on a soliloquy in the middle of a busy night.
Free therapy.
Thank you.
No, it is.
Well, what's worse, the people you know or the people you don't know?
The people you don't know. Like
Really?
a can
You're
of
right. Yeah,
worms.
you're right.
It's a can of worms sometimes because
You just don't
I'm
know what you're gonna
trying
get.
to be polite because I've learned that you have no idea who
Or who they are.
anyone is.
Not at
Meaning,
all.
like,
Not at all.
they could throw you a shit ton of money when it's over. So, may as well be polite unless they're, you know, I don't know. Unless they
Yes.
deserve it.
Unless they
Yeah.
deserve it.
You know what I mean? So you kind of give people, 'cause that's the job, give
Mhm.
them the time of
Yeah.
day. But also shut my
Yeah.
ears off and, like, not listen. Like, yeah.
I'm not good
Yeah.
at doing that. Like,
I'm too good at it.
being able to have a conversation but not be there while you work. I could do like in real life, but behind a bar, like I can't pretend that I'm not engaged in you.
How long have you been married?
So we've been
Talk to me like 10 years, man.
See, so,
Yeah.
so she calls me out all the time, and she has these like epic conversations with me, and I'm just like watching TV on my phone. I hear what she's saying, but I can't process it at that point in time. Behind a bar, I can, but I choose not to. But I can also like pretend that I'm like have engaged in a conversation, like I do with, you know. I love you, Kelly. That's my wife, by the way. I just wanted her to know. But I can't pretend that I'm engaged as much as I am when I'm like trying to make money off people.
Well, there is a thing I think called it's detail saturation. Like there's only so many details I can absorb. Like if you tell me like so and so said this and so said that and they did this, I'm like that's too much. Just give me the generalities and I can get through that story.
Yeah.
Too much
if you have
detail and I
no
get
idea
lost.
who they're talking about, it didn't even matter. None of those details mattered because I don't know.
That sounds like sounds like a friend of mine that uses first names for everybody, and I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about.
I hate that.
Like, can you please like give me some reference? Or don't use their names. Just like person A was talking to person B. But just when you use the first names, and I do I know this person? You know, and especially around Lowell, everybody's got there's only like 4 names in Lowell, right? That's why everybody's getting nicknames, because otherwise it's just like Sean was talking to Sean, who was talking to Kelly, who was talking to, you know, Sean, and which Sean, and which guy. It's all the same. It's all the same names. You know what I mean? You got to have too many details. You're gonna be like, forget it. You know. But you guys must have all locals all the time, right? I mean, I would think that most of the people are regulars.
Yeah, we have a lot of regulars. We have a lot of locals. Like we actually get a lot of people from like Haverhill, Haverhill and like Andover. No, actually no,
Really?
it's Andover. Yeah, a lot of Andover people come to the ramen bar, and they come like at least like a couple times a week.
Is it like going on like, I don't know, some kind of sightseeing tour? Like,
I don't
hey, let's go to
know.
Andover and
Yeah,
see
I
what's
don't know.
going on
It's
in
weird,
Lowell.
but,
Like, it's
like
like a dare.
they're all really nice, and like
Let's get a picture.
I think they come back because of my
Andover.
pours, but that might be something
They
else.
want those strong cottage drinks.
Yeah, they want the strong cottage drinks, and they just really and I drink with them too sometimes. Like we have the soju, and they will get a bottle, and they'll be like, "Here, have some with us."
I
And
know
I'm
you
just
have
like,
soju stories.
"Yeah, I do."
Because I'm definitely.
It's like the thing is like it has become that I've had so much regulars from everywhere, and everyone expects me to drink with them, and it's 5:30. We've only been open for like
30 minutes.
30 minutes, and I'm like borderline hammered. I'm just like, you guys, and like it's hard for me to say no. I'm a
You
people.
need
I'm
his
like
water
natural.
tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's smart.
Because I'll
right there.
just
You
be
gotta-
like, no.
You need, like, the house
I need a
bottle.
I gave
soju.
myself
I need a
away.
soju bottle with just water in there and do it. But yeah, it's just like everyone just expects you to drink with them, and like I'm a people pleaser, so I do it, and then but 6 o'clock comes and like, you guys, I gotta stop. I have like 3 more hours to get to work,
So here's the story.
And they come. I swear to God, they text each other and they come all at the same time.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I used to go to the ramen bar before.
Oh, at lunchtime.
Lunchtime before In the Fields. In the Fields is some big R&B event we did to keep first Wednesday of the month. So I'll go there and just, of course, I just want to eat, have a drink too. It kind of gets me so drunk. Okay, so I have to work this whole shift. I had other bartenders coming and stuff. And you're just kind of on autopilot the whole entire night, going back and forth, just talking to people. Not even paying attention because everyone wants the same drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the bathroom one time. I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like,
He sees.
this is me right now. It's only 10. It's only 10 p.m.
It was my fault.
Yeah. So like you go through the motions. Like, should I throw up? Like, no, I don't have to. So I'm not gonna throw up. Like, do I need to like just go for a walk? No, I can't because the boss want to pick up. Or should I smoke some weed? Like, no, I can't do that. I don't want to smell like weed.
It's only one thing to do, man.
Yes.
Throw up.
So I just had to put my head down and just go through the motions and feel like the whole shift just went in 5-minute interval. Went 10:05, 10:10, 10:15.
Yeah, he came in at like what 12:45.
12:45 and had to be there too. Like,
on a Wednesday.
yeah.
Wednesday lunch. Yeah.
So who do you think's more of a pain in the ass then? Regulars or like new people?
No, you can't generalize
Yeah.
it like that. It's not being a pain in the ass. It's those like
I love new
those
people.
once in a while, those nuts in the whatever
Oh,
you want to
yeah.
call it.
You're a
The
good
random.
politician. I love you.
I am.
She's a good
Because I like
politician.
Yeah.
I love each and every one of my regulars.
Yeah.
But
No,
yes,
but yeah.
like she
yeah,
said, like,
because we love them all. Like we're,
but it's just like every
You're so good at it. I strive to be to have your just like
like every couple of months or whatever, like every couple of months we'll get like this one person that is just awful,
Tell me.
like trying to fight, like I don't know, like it'll be like my
Like
group of friends.
physically?
I have a lot of girlfriends who are like pretty, and like there's this one guy one time trying to hit on one of them, and her boyfriend was like, no, like stop it. And he basically got himself banned from ramen from Pete, which takes a lot because Pete is such a nice guy.
Yes, he is.
And this guy, he's just kept pushing it, being creepy, trying to like hit on like every girl there. And
I'm a monster.
no, literally,
I know, bro.
and
That when you see the guys that hop around, I'm like, bro.
yeah, it's just like you're embarrassing yourself.
from, like,
And he
table, like,
doesn't, and like this person like
Spot to
doesn't
spot?
come around a lot. Like he would come around like every couple months, and he would always cause a scene. And I'm just like, I sweat because I've cut him off like the first time he came in, and every single time after he came in, and yeah, he's just like a bad person.
The only
Yeah.
place I've ever been cut off at. I'm pretty proud to say it's the only place it's ever happened to me. It was at what's the name of the it's the name of the Chunky's up in
Chunky, the
Pelham.
movie theater.
You must
Yes.
have needed it. Or you had 4 beers. I bet you could have like 4 drinks there.
You get. I buy a picture to the face every time I go there.
I've never been to Chunky's.
So they had at the time you could get
No.
a bucket of beers. It was 4 beers.
Bucket.
And I'm like, it was me and this woman I was dating at the time, and her 2 rotten kids, and they were like, she got a wine, kids got whatever. And I'm like, I get a bucket of beers. They're like, just for you? I'm like, yeah, just for me. Like, okay, no problem. So I went in, and they probably about, it was a long day already, like being with these people. So after about 45 minutes, I'm like, can I get another bucket of beers? They're like, oh no, you can't. You can only have one. And I'm like, okay, like 1 bucket of beers. I'm like, well, can I have a beer? She's like, yeah, you can order a single beer. I'm like, all right, can I get 4 single beers in 5-minute intervals?
You pushed it.
She was just,
You pushed it.
I did. I was like, well, what's the difference? I'm like, and I was trying to explain to her, I'm like, I'm gonna order like 4 more, based on the amount of time in the movie. It's gonna save you time. Just give me the bucket. And then I'm like, well, can I keep the bucket? And just, it was just it didn't work out, and I got shut off. It's the only place I ever got shut off. stupid chunky scene. I don't even remember what the movie was. I wasn't even that belligerent. I was just annoyed. I wasn't even annoyed at her. I was more annoyed at the people I was with.
Yeah. You should have just ordered the beer and then ordered another beer.
What's it? Like, I think it's in 99. Is it the 99? My ex-father-in-law, this guy used to love to drink. And you could get only a certain number of doubles, right? You could have a double vodka and then like another one, but then they wouldn't let you. But he would just get 2 singles, and they didn't have a rule against that.
Smart man.
Well, but it's just like these arbitrary rules. You're like, just give them what they're gonna get. Like these corporate places have all these crazy rules. I mean, it's not like, it's one of the reasons, like, if you're gonna go anyway, you should go local, because you can usually not do whatever you want, but it's a little more.
No, I agreed.
Yeah.
Because corporate, like, they follow every single rule.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, they.
But there are. I mean, I've just seen some rude mofo's in bars. I'll tell you. Like, we talked about bar etiquette one time on one of the podcasts, and it was just. It's almost like the more I talked about it, the more I saw just bad behavior. And I think the thing that I was complaining about the most, I don't know if you guys see it, it's the whole thing where when it's a packed bar and this, like, 2 people are sitting talking to each other and people are like reaching over them.
Yeah.
Like, there's always not a designated spot, but you can always see the flow where you should be ordering your drinks, and people just don't do it. Am I wrong? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, you're not wrong.
I see it all the time. I'm trying.
Like, bar etiquette is very important.
Or if you're like this, like our backs are to each other,
Or,
but you're why
elbows like
sometimes
this.
are both humans unable to just like, oh yeah, no
Yeah,
worries.
scooch over.
No, yeah.
Like not all night, but like just once in a while, like, oh no worries.
Oh yeah, if I'm this way and somebody wants to order a drink, I'm moving over. Like, go right ahead.
I'm not gonna do that all
fine.
night long for 100 people.
No.
But like
But if I'm talking to somebody this way and they're coming in between there, like, no, go over the turn shoulder.
right.
Like, read the room, look at the scene, and never do this. This is the worst.
Oh yeah. If someone waves, like, you're probably the last person I'm coming to.
I
Yeah.
hate bartender. I hate
What about the whistle?
The what? Oh, hey,
whistle.
bartender.
Hey, bartender,
Oh my God. Whistle.
Snap.
Nobody's ever done that.
Yeah, you got the snap.
The whistle and the snap?
The
Yeah.
whistle.
Really?
Oh my
Holding up the
God.
money up. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna serve you.
What about
It's
when you're
$5 right there.
when you're talking to a guest and that's happening? Why are you taking
like-
my focus? I literally have no idea what she ordered because you're doing all that.
Well, why are you trying to get an order? Somebody's trying to talk to you about.
They're like,
As if you don't hear
and you're
them.
ordering 4 drinks, and I'm just like,
It's like they're doing a fucking tango. You don't see me working here? I'm gonna get to you.
Yeah, I used to have a friend that, like, would come in and, like, would get really drunk because I served them. And but they would like whistle, but they would like whistle, like
We're
just
gonna take your tips away if you keep talking like that.
No, but they would like just whistle and like causes disruption, like at not only the bar but like the whole like floor. And that was like the last time I was like, you can't come here like until you stop doing this, you know. And the same person, I would get texts from all my other bartender friends, and he would be doing the same thing, and but also acting a fool. And I'm just like, oh, what text am I gonna get today from like my ex from XYZ, and I just ban him.
did it change?
Yeah, and you haven't seen him around since, so that's good. But he was he was a nightmare as a customer and also a friend.
I hate when you have a place that you go to all the time, right? Your regular spots, and then you bring somebody. Maybe they've never been in this environment, or like haven't brought. Like for me, it's people I haven't brought to Lola, people to a certain point, and it's always for me. It always seems to be the old court that I end up bringing the worst people there, because I've known them forever. They're always very quick to tell me. So the worst one I had was a girl, nice girl, but she was kind of a pain in the ass. She was a little bit of a princess, and I tell her to her face, but like she came in.
No names.
And she just started. She gets bloody noses on the regular.
Oh my god!
So we're just out, and all of a sudden, the nose just starts bleeding like she's gonna fight. And
So it's like mid conversation.
huh?
This is just mid conversation.
She was just in mid conversation. Her nose starts bleeding.
No.
It's fascinating.
Well, like your nose is bleeding. She's like, "Oh, it happens all the time," and da da da. So she's doing this and keep going, but she goes into the bathroom. And she's in there for a long time. And then one of the people working, when she left, they were like, "Was that person with you?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, they brought me in and showed like what they had left, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Oh no.
It looked like there was like a massacre in there. It looked like it was Machete Night in Lowell. Like, there was just bloody
That's messed
tissues
up.
everywhere, and I'm like, why didn't you put them somewhere? put them in the bucket. Put them in the toilet. Like, whatever. It was just
Hide it. Like,
masses
throw
of.
it in the trash.
Well, this is like this is like Drumhill of bloody napkins. It was just all from this. Now, she had a sizable nose, but I didn't think there was that much blood in a human that could be standing and drinking. And it was just so damn embarrassing. I'm like, oh my
That is
god.
embarrassing.
Did you ever bring it to the old court again?
I hope
No.
not.
Yeah.
Are you still friends?
Oh yeah, I still make fun of her about it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
but it's just like, but that happens. Like, I'll train these people in, and then all of a sudden they're total assholes.
That's why I go places by myself.
Well, yeah, but it's hard when you're out. Like, I don't know. I think this is folk festivals. So you're out with people, right?
Oh, folk fest is.
weekend of the year.
In which way? There's so many ways it's dangerous.
So I don't have too many folk fest stories because I've always never had to work too many folk fests.
Mhm.
Even though I was part of the keep,
Lucky you.
I trust me.
But also, yeah. But also, like,
All the monsters come out.
Especially
Yeah.
well, it used to be Sunday. Last year wasn't too bad on Sunday. I don't
I
think.
like Sunday.
I'm a Sunday
Yeah.
monster.
Yeah.
Sunday's
I'm
fun.
talking
I-
shit about myself.
Sunday's like the locals.
Sundays the
Yes.
locals,
Sundays
and
is
also like the
Best day.
the bartenders.
People are
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like we're closed on Sunday, like barman is closed on Sundays,
Mhm.
so I get to do my folk fest on the Sunday, and like usually it's just all the locals, and it's very chill, not too many people. But yeah, the monsters do come out on folk fest. Like, it's the people that don't normally come out,
Or
and
maybe
they're
they
like,
drank all day. I don't know.
they're like the Long Islands of like
Oh.
orderers, and I'm like, sure, you can have a Long
I
Island.
took my peen on the side of your bar. Like,
What?
it was, I didn't want to tell a story, but I am.
Damn.
anyways. So it
Like,
was.
in the bar.
It
Oh,
was luckily like it's actually a story about inside the bar. Again, I'm not saying where. So I go take out the trash. This one girl's taking a huge.
oh no.
You could just tell it was flowing. Like she was
Oh.
holding that for like the longest time. So I go on call. I'm like, "Are you okay?" No, I'm fine.
So can you see the baby's head? Is the water breaking? Is the water breaking?
So I'm asking, do you need some napkins? She's like, "No, I'm fine." So I'm thinking to myself, okay, you're not asking me for napkins. You're not washing your hands out here. So I go back inside, doing my business, serving. She comes back in and then holds some guy's face.
Oh man.
So I'm thinking to myself, how did you, I see, did not wash your fucking hands?
Yeah.
Does this guy not feel like, just smell piss on you?
Maybe he gets stung by a jellyfish.
Who knows? Until this day, and I still see it every now and then. I'm like,
Oh no.
I do. It's like that movie. I know what you did last summer. No, I did.
I know what you did.
I do. Like that's why every time I see
She goes to shake
hell?
when she gives you her ID. Do you hold her hand?
Yeah.
Did you hold her hand?
Like, never touch
She was
it.
outside.
Oh, she was
no.
outside. And I respect, like, I don't respect it because it's like, hey, you still had to wash your hands. You didn't even go to the bathroom. You came inside. You just automatically started making out
Oh,
with this dude.
Disgusting. What's up with people making out at the bar?
we're all guilty of it though.
No, not
I've
all.
done it.
No.
I've done it.
Can they
It's
cut
terrible.
it out?
It's
Especially
terrible.
if it's like super early in the night. It's not, the lights aren't even dim
Yeah,
yet.
the lights are still on. You got
Chill.
give us some time.
Oh no, the lights are on. It's
There's
gotta be
nobody
dark.
in there. And
I
it's
feel
just-
like a peck is nice, but like making out, no.
No.
Also, if it's like completely dead and like, because
Yeah.
I've been like next to a couple and it was just me and this couple at the bar, and I'm just trying to have my nightcap after work, and all I hear
Oh,
is
come
like
on.
all I hear of them is just sucking face, and like me and the bartender
Oh, yeah,
who's my friend, it was just staring at each other and like it's time for a shot.
You're like, you just put your hand in there.
I'm like, no.
The worst is the chronic is like the serial makeouters. Like, okay, so like,
Oh my god.
no names, obviously. She knows I'm talking about her. She hears
Oh
this.
no.
So she had a string of 2 months. Every Wednesday, she had a new makeout buddy.
Oh.
Same spot. We all know how to keep it. You know that where the taps are, the silver spot. That was always her seat, and she'll just make out a different guy every single Wednesday.
At the bar.
Oh, wow.
We had some repeats every now and then, but she'll just like make out with them, get free drinks, and then disappear.
Yeah.
Leaving the
He would
guy?
always pay.
Always pay, constant. And that's all she did was just and I'm not talking about just like smooch. I'm talking about full on like rub downs, like I'm on camera, like this.
Oh man.
Ears and necks.
Yeah,
I'm like, this was, and I'm an asshole. I'm like, you guys done? You done? You need a beer? You know, just going at it.
You gotta spray water on them like they're fighting cats.
Oh,
I
I
didn't
know.
think about that.
yeah, but I'm glad you mentioned that.
I'm gonna use that next time.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Damn.
But don't you feel like that's something I see that more at like maybe some deeper establishments in Drake It. I'm not talking about like East Drake It, like maybe out by
Don't get
O'Hara's.
I don't-
Like what, a dive bar?
Sports Zone.
well I don't know the difference between a
Yeah,
non-dive
you
bar.
do. They serve stuff in plastic.
Well, okay, I'll give you that. But yeah, I mean, all right, let's talk about this. It's definitely I think that's more of a sports zone than an O'Hara's thing. But it's definitely more of a like I see it a lot more in Drake It than I do anywhere else.
You know, I frequent Drake It.
I don't go around that much.
I love Drake It. Drake It's a blast. Like you wouldn't see it at Brothers though.
Sure. My wife's from Drake It, so we occasionally have to go Drake
like,
Yeah,
in Drake It.
I love. Listen, Drake It's fun.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
Like I would never want to be a bartender in Drake It.
The only good thing about being a bartender in Drake It is that you get to wear sweatpants and work boots. And nobody minds.
Fair,
That's like the uniform.
fair.
Yeah.
The
That's
Drake.
nice. I see it.
That's a Drake It tuxedo.
That's funny.
I have a horrible makeout story at the bar, and it's probably one of the reasons. I think it might have been. It's not the last time, but like it was Majors back at Old Majors. Met this girl. She seemed really nice. You know, it was probably like I don't know, within like 20 minutes of closing time. Really dark. I might have had all the beers, and
See, that's a
all
good
the
time
beers.
to make that play.
oh,
You
yeah,
know, like, hey, what are you doing after?
yeah,
Well, let's go home.
yeah.
Yeah. Not at 9:00.
It's like
1:30.
It was definitely late.
Okay.
Definitely late.
I expect that.
I'm pretty sure it was late when I met her, or whatever. So making out at one of the back tables, you know, and get through like the whole exchange of phone numbers and stuff, and the lights come on, and what do I see? A big cold sore right there, and I'm like, oh
I didn't know what you were about to just
I
say.
know.
yeah, it was.
Could've
So,
went-
so the makeout days are over.
I was just like,
His.
Here's yours.
it was one of those like. I didn't know what to say. All I did for like a month, every day, not even more than every day. I was just like, this.
Checking yourself.
I didn't have a beard
Yeah.
then. Actually, that's why I have the mustache and beard now. No, it was just I was like, oh man, like it's one of those things. Like the worst, the most notorious place of all time was the old. I don't know if you guys. I don't even know if it's still open, but the Kahlua Lounge in Nashua. It's off of Exit 6, and that place. It was a Star Wars bar, and whenever you'd go up there were people making out left and right. And when the lights would come on, it looked like cockroaches just scurried. Everybody just like, because they'd all finally see each other. You know what I mean? It was just like, because it was just dark and dank in there, and it was like a dance floor, and it was all like older people that would just
Like Cappies.
picture Cappies, but incredibly like just dark, like
Okay.
dark. Because Cappies was pretty light there.
Was it?
It really
That
was.
would always be the last stop after you went a lot of places. So
That was
it
a
would get
great.
dark.
That was a great place to bring people that weren't from Lowell, because anything they did wasn't going to be anything worse than what had already happened that night. Probably
Oh man, that's funny.
that place is epic.
Cappies, yeah, Catcher's Mitt. That was the
Catcher's
spot.
Mitt.
Yeah,
Mhm.
what else? Molly K's back in the day.
Mhm.
Molly's is
That
great.
was a mess.
That was like a frat house, right?
I have stories about it. I can't talk about them, but
Mhm.
Molly K's
Yeah.
that was an epic time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Worthen always maintains a certain level of like you can bring anybody there and it's fine. It's a very welcoming place, but there's always an element of you just don't know what's going to happen.
What do you say?
The Worthen.
Worthen?
Then
That's
Yeah.
what I love about it.
It's very
It's eclectic.
that's a good word.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything. There's always there's something might weird happen there, but it's always safe. It's not like an unsafe place. I wouldn't call it a dive bar at all. But
Okay,
it-
what's
I
a
think it's
dive?
like a pub. I feel like
What's a
that's a
dive?
pub. To me, a dive is like,
Because Richard calls
and
it
if
keep it
I
pub.
ever in the past or future call a place a dive, don't refer to this definition of a dive. But a dive to me is like they may or may not. I'm trying to say here. They definitely served your drink in plastic. They definitely have like Bud Heavy on tap.
the tap
They
lines are
don't
super
serve
clean.
any craft beer. They probably don't have cider,
Okay.
and that's it. No espresso martinis.
No
So
espresso.
that's a
No
dive.
wine. There's no wine, and if it is, it's in a double bottle. That's
Oh,
a dive.
the 150 ounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I think dive, I think
Not a
of like
Magnum.
New York City,
Okay.
Oh,
like
wow.
very
That's a dive.
old bar, but like run down. Like I
Yeah.
think like New York City. I've been to like a bunch in New York City, and
Yeah.
they it's just like the same. They have they have a certain like scent to it as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I do.
it's just
Is it still beer or piss?
Yes.
both.
There's
Yes.
definitely
Both.
Kino.
With a mix
Kino.
of a chick throwing up in the back or peeing in the back.
I think the plastic is really kind of part of it.
Oh, if
the
there's no plastic, it's not a dive.
So what's a pub?
To me, a pub is like they have the main goal at a pub is you go in there to have a couple drinks and they might have good food.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah.
like the Old Court's a pub.
Yeah.
They have really good food, but it's also like you're not going to feel weird sitting at the table just drinking. You can do that there. Now, if I went to me, that's a pub. Plus, they have like you get a lot of regulars. You get the music. There's a lot of stuff. Like it's there's a culture there. I don't know. It's a little different, right?
Yeah.
But then, well, like the Keep, I think is more of a pub than I would say like a restaurant.
I think it's a bar.
See, that's the argument I always had with Rich. He's
A
like, it's
bar.
a pub. Like, no, it's not. This is not a pub.
Wait, so what's a bar then?
Maybe it's a gastropub.
We settled on
Gastropub.
gastropub because I don't know what
I
gastropub
don't
is,
either. Yeah.
but it sounds fancy.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
What's it-
Upscale pub.
Yeah, upscale pub.
An
It makes
upscale
sense.
pub.
Makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Cocktail bar.
So what was Thirsties? A dive?
That dive.
That was a
Well,
dive.
no,
That was a
but there-
dive. I'd say
but-
it was
So
a
the
dive.
Morven isn't a dive though?
But you can get an espresso
No, I don't-
martini at Thirsty First, though. Yeah, I have.
No, you know it's a dive bar?
I
Like
can't
back when,
support
like the White Eagle in Lowell.
They were there. It can't be a
I
dive.
don't know.
That's
It's gone.
It's gone.
Because
Yeah,
I didn't like my
okay.
espresso, so I got a whistle pig.
So that says how you felt about espresso martini.
I think I think a dive bar is a dive bar when you walk in and you look around and you're like, this is a dive bar.
100%.
I don't think I think it's you just know it when you see it.
So what's Smokehouse? Club.
I don't go in there.
Fake club.
The Shank House. No, I'm just kidding. No. It's-
I used to work there for
I
like
guess it
for one
couldn't be a
summer.
club.
What? Did you?
No, you know what's good about that place? You need a place for young kids.
They
to-
gotta go there.
They gotta
Yeah,
go.
they
Okay,
had a
listen.
line
I feel
on
like
Saturday
I feel like
night
it's
outside.
a staple for the college kids.
I'll tell you what though.
They need it. They got a boogie. I don't know.
I haven't been in there in probably 3 or 4 years, but they used to have some of the best bartenders though around. Like,
Yeah,
They still
The
people
do.
they-
Cheryl?
Cheryl.
How are you,
They're still-
sweetie?
Daryl's still there.
They had really good. So like when it was before, like I feel like their hours before the pandemic, you could go in there earlier, and it was
Yeah.
fine.
So
They
Yeah.
had really good.
yeah, so
bartenders.
when I used to work there, I worked there for a summer, and it was like every other Sunday during the day, like from 12 to 7.
Oh,
But I used to work.
track,
Yes,
yeah.
I used to work with Shannon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of the best.
She's a great
bartenders.
She was a
Yeah.
great bartender.
She was a
Nice.
great. The best espresso martini that I've had. But yeah, I used to work with her, and it was just like the regulars, you know, and it was just shoot the shit. And I remember we played like flip cup there, but it was like all like it wasn't the college kids. It was
Yeah.
it was like it was a Sunday,
Yeah.
like a Sunday, like how a Sunday fun day should be.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was like those days were fun that one
Yeah.
summer.
How you guys feel about Sunday?
But then
Is
like the
Sunday Fun Day
nightlife
still
is
Sunday
completely
Fun Day?
different.
Is Sunday Fun Day still
Sunday
Sunday
Fun
Fun
Day.
Day?
Is
Not-
it? You can still
not for
consider
me
Sunday
anymore.
Fun Day?
Every time I go out, it's fun, but I can't do it like I used to.
I feel like the vibes changed. The culture is what Sunday Fun Day was. It
Yeah.
was like completely gone.
Well, I think a lot of
Well-
places are closed earlier too, right? Like
Some
everything.
places aren't even open
Yeah.
on Sunday. Ramen.
Yeah, because Sunday used to be one of the best it was a really good day to go out.
A lot of bartenders would go out after brunch. I remember I used to just, take Moonstone and Power Stones with all me, and we'll just take over downtown.
Mm-hmm. It's not the same anymore.
And I'll have to manage to make it to work Monday morning open. That was my punishment. I'll get so hammered the night before, then just be quarter of the man I was. And have to. So I guess I could say her name. Kim Mello was the bar manager. One of my best friends to this day was the bar manager. She'll intentionally put me on Sunday morning.
She was on our last episode.
Oh, she was?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Kim? That was the last night in Boston. We got kind of hammered. Put me on every Tuesday, every Monday morning. And it would have stopped me from still being who I was the night before. You get out of brunch, you close, start getting fucked up. Go to Garcia's, stay there till the last call, go to the after party. It's like 4 a.m. You're like, damn, I gotta be at work.
Yeah.
You go, you hustle the shift. There was this one time we were doing, can't call them marriage car bombs anymore, right?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What can you call them?
No idea. But we know what it is.
We know what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So I am probably wasn't even 5 back then. So myself and someone who I cannot name were in the back taking them. General manager walks, the AGM walks in. He's like, "It's Monday morning. I understand you need this."
The hair of the dog.
I'm just there. I'm just there like mid chug. You're
already committed.
The service took right after me.
I'm just saying,
It's going down. And I put it down. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, but this is the only way I'm going to be effective today. So he's riding me the whole shift. He's like,
you better not make a mistake.
and he was my favorite person to work with because he was just cool, calm, collective, and he knew that I had to have been doing something to be even remotely myself.
Mm-hmm.
So he's watching. Did you bring him doing table 2? I'm like, yes. So just and he walked with such an aura about him. So he just walk, boom. He'll stay at the top of the stairs, like looking at that table. I'm like, see it, sir. So he's picking every tab. I'm dotting every I, every T. You could just smell the liquor coming from it.
Oh,
yeah.
And you make that one
oozing
drink
out.
of something you got messed up the night before. I think I was drinking Jameson. So someone wanted Jameson neat, and the throw up just started feeling. You can feel the saliva in your mouth. Does that ever happen to you guys?
Oh, yeah.
We get
All
drunk
the
off something,
time.
then the next day you have to make that drink. I'm like,
All the time.
made it, plug it in, walks to the bathroom, he intercepts me
Damn.
midway through the bathroom. He's like, Uta, darling, how you doing?
Darling.
I'm doing good, sir. It's like, you need to go to the bathroom? I'm like, yeah, my man. He's like, okay. I have a toothbrush for you downstairs. I'm like, thank you.
Oh,
We were good ever since.
That's like that horrible feeling when especially because you have people at your house and then you wake up or you're away, you wake up the next day and you haven't picked up the night before and there's just that stickiness on the floor and the cans everywhere. If you had a couple people over that would smoke, just that whole the next day cleanup, you really have to clean up before.
That's why you don't go to sleep. You just do it then.
You can't. You have to pick it up because the next day you get that reaction, that whole smell.
You
is
hate
just
yourself. You also hate yourself.
Sundays there was, for us, it was we do Majors on Jackson Street, and then we go over to Jacqui Brogan's for the karaoke and all
Karaoke
that.
Sundays.
It was great.
Yeah.
And
Those were the days.
those places
Those were
were
the
packed
Every Sunday.
every Sunday night.
Every Sunday.
All the
was-
time.
It was such
Literally
a
all the
vibe.
time. Didn't even
Yeah.
matter
Yeah.
what. Yeah, Saturday night.
Miss that place.
I just think
Same.
I don't know if it was, I don't know if people got older or in the next generation just didn't really pick it up. But again, compared to when I'm out in Lowell, right? It's fun. I have a great time down here. But when you go to, some nights are busy, some nights aren't. But when you go to Drink It, every night in Drink It is packed.
Really?
Oh.
Saturday nights
Oh,
You're
Drink
not
It,
making this up.
I don't go to drink it.
No.
You don't need to.
I don't
I've gone to
either.
Graz.
it's like a whole other world.
Yeah.
Every day of the week.
Saturday, Sunday, Friday,
You can make up a day, add something to Sunday after Sunday. And
Yeah.
it'll be busy.
yeah,
I don't get it.
it's always busy. I mean,
Huh.
that's what we do. Me and some of my friends, we do Mother's
The
Day.
bartenders make money.
And it's we do Ujo wherever we go on Mother's Day. It's
Ujo's
always
nice.
Ujo.
Ujo is a great place to start. But no matter no matter where you go, it's always packed to drink it. So I don't know if there's just like
The water's different over there. You know, it's like
they're all ex-Lowell people. I don't know.
That's what happening. Like most of the bartenders I know that are drinking now are from Lowell.
Yeah.
You know, like most people I see in drinking are from Lowell. It's how I feel like the downtown culture here kind of changed. It's a bunch of younger kids, and now there's kind of like vibe of people. But all the people my age are now drinking or Chelmsford. Like Lowell just kind of like became just you come and eat, but when you want to hang out, you're gonna leave the city. That's what I've noticed. I don't know about you.
Should I hang out?
No.
I do a little bit of both. Like if I'm out in Lowell, I'm out in Lowell. If I'm out in Drake it, we tend to stay there. And I don't go out and Drake it as much as Lowell, but when I do go out there, I'm like, you know who I go and see in Drake it is a lot of my like the guys I know that live in Lowell that are married and they like to go
Like
out.
Tavern on the Line.
Tavern on the Line,
Like, yeah.
Brothers, like you know, it's
Right,
places like that because you get everybody from the neighborhood comes down, they pick up their
Mm-hmm.
food, they have a couple of drinks. So I think it's a little more, maybe it is more like a married with children kind of
Yeah.
group or whatever, a little.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, yeah, no, but I think it's,
Yeah.
but what's good is like, I get to see all those people.
Yeah.
They don't come downtown as much. And downtown, I feel like it's a lot of people downtown are, for the most part, like single or,
Yeah, like people my age.
and there's a rate, well, or
It's
there's,
like-
Getting
usually-
after it.
and then there's, you know, my group that's all old and single, but they're still getting after it. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of, it's a little different, but it's not like it used to be. It's not as, there used to be a lot of like younger people out in Lowell. They're not, I don't know where they are. I just don't think they do it.
Yeah.
I think the times have changed. There's a place I used to go to. Didn't bartend there, but I used to frequent there all the time. I don't think stuff like that happened now, but just being able to pass out in a basement of a known bar and waking up the next day being like, how the fuck am I still here? And looking over and people are still there. And it's like 6 a.m. You're like, yeah,
Well, let me ask you
I
this.
gotta go home.
Do you,
Hey, at least you didn't drive.
I did drive.
do you think that so, because that used to happen, right? Like a lot of us have stories like that. Do you think it still happens? We just don't hear it? I don't think it happens.
It doesn't happen anymore. I would know. We would all know.
Yeah.
I think we would, right? I think it's just there's a lot less, like there's more rules or there's less, I don't know what, like,
The pandemic changed a lot of things.
People more
Yeah.
homebodies.
yeah. Yeah, the pandemic changed a lot of things.
Yeah, it did.
I don't know. All right, last question before we wrap it up.
Where we just started.
I don't know, we're already 50 minutes in, buddy.
Okay.
Good. Worst customer you ever had?
I already mentioned
I'm
him.
going to let the politician.
All right, let me think about it.
Well, I can think of one.
Do you have one, and then I'll think while you talk? Oh, you can think one of mine. I don't want to talk about that person. Not worth it.
That's funny.
So let me think about another one, because I'm sure there's plenty. Okay, there's this guy who would come in, and I don't think he was homeless. He had a debit card. So I don't know if homeless people have debit cards.
Yeah, they do.
New homeless people can. The new generation.
Okay, no.
Some of
this
them
is
have
like
phones.
maybe 8 years ago.
apparently.
And he would pretty much keep to himself and just drink a beer, pay for it. I don't think he would ever eat. Sometimes he would ask for a bowl of chips and just keep to himself. So whatever, you buy things, you pay for them. You're a little weird, but whatever. That's what you do, right? So then one time he was in there and it was like 5 o'clock. It was a Saturday. And then he flips out and he's like, Jackie. So I'm like, yeah, what's up? Is this a gay bar? And it just took me so off guard that I was like, this is an everybody bar. What are you talking about? And he's like, is this a gay bar? Like top of his lungs. And I'm like, I just said it's an everybody bar. You got a problem? And he was like flipping out nonsense words because he like isn't with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you gotta go. And then so then there were all these older people in the dining room like eating fish and
Oh.
chips. You know what I mean? It was 5 o'clock. It was Saturday.
Mhm.
And then his whole way out, he was like, all these swear words at me. And then luckily my friend Ben Potter was at the bar and he stood up and like came over my shoulder because I took the beer. I was like, I don't need your money. It was like a Miller Lite. I took the beer, like I wasn't gonna, and then he grabbed my hand, and then luckily Ben was right behind me, and he was like, boom, right in his chest. He was like, you gotta go, get out. Never came back again, but he just snapped. I don't know what happened.
Out of
It was
nowhere.
crazy, and all these swear words. So yeah, I would say that was probably the
Well, that's
worst.
not fun.
Because I thought it was gonna be a normal thing, like, hey, you know, if you're not cool, it's get out, you know. But
My-
no, he just, I was like, shit, am I dying? But in those moments, like, you don't think you're gonna die until after you're like, shit, I should like, you know. Sometimes I have like big balls, so
You probably would have taken him.
yeah, probably.
My worst one was I was working at the Athenian, and this guy was like the brother of the band, and so he just wouldn't pay for a drink all night because he thought he was entitled to have free drinks because he wasn't in the band.
So he was a groupie.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like a real. It was just like a, you know, I shouldn't say it wasn't a real band, but like it wasn't like they were whatever. It was just he wasn't in the band. He didn't bring any of
their
the
manager?
equipment. He was just the brother of the band, and so I'm like,
Makes no sense.
Groupie.
A groupie.
yeah, and he would talk to me, and he would, I ran him a tab, but then, at the end of the night, he wouldn't tip, and he just would talk and talk and talk, and then he's like, oh no, I'm with the band. So I'm like, hey, he wants me to put it on the band's tab, and the guy from the band, I'm not paying for, like, it was like the scene out of Blues Brothers where they were just like, there's this entitled a-hole, and I think the thing that he already annoyed me because he wouldn't stop talking to me, and I should have said I don't like this story, but I didn't have those words yet, and I was
Don't say that to people.
I'm going to say it to them all the time, and then at the end he's like, oh, I'm with the band. I'm like, no, you weren't. Like, he's like, well, that's my brother. I'm like, okay, it's $32. Like, we'll just put it on his tab. I'm like, and so we just we didn't. It's just beers. We didn't pursue it. But that was a bad customer.
I have a couple. I want to say this. There's one. This one happened like years ago. I was where was I working? Doesn't matter. So this woman was going through a divorce. I had no idea she was going through a divorce. She was still wearing her wedding ring and all that good stuff. I know that she was out with this one particular guy who I figured would be an asshole. So I'm talking to her up. She had this like blonde, flowy hair. I'm like, hey, by the way, I like your ring. And she like stands up and takes her ring and throws it at my face. She's like, oh, you don't like this? Like, she just flipped the script. She's like, I don't even love him anymore. Why would you say that? In my mind, I'm like, your ring looks nice. She's like, looks, and she's like, just giving it. She comes over to service bar. Like, I need to talk to you. That's the most disrespectful thing anyone's ever done to me. I'm like, I just said, I like your ring. Little did I had no idea the backstory that was her. He was divorcing her because of scandalous stuff she was doing in the background. She was selling feet pics, just being
Her feet.
feet pics, yeah. That's a different story.
I don't get the feet pick thing.
Me either.
Hey, there's money out there. Try.
No, I know. I'm sure.
told
But
me,
it's, Hey,
And
God bless her. I mean, that's easy money.
It's funny.
this guy had no idea.
Well, it's not easy money because I know you have to keep your
You
feet.
gotta keep,
Yeah,
costs
that's-
money.
Yeah, but-
I don't know these things.
That's an investment.
You have money to,
Yeah.
investment.
it's an investment.
So this girl, and she wouldn't stop. She's screaming at me for about 15 straight minutes.
How the hell are you supposed to know?
I can't do anything. But I didn't know that dude was basically her new
man.
lover,
Oh.
her new man. And I put her in a situation that she had to like tell him what was going on. What I know is that he was the one who was taking the feet pic for her.
Oh.
Damn.
So I kind of messed up her side hustle. But I saw him 2 weeks after. I saw him with someone else. I saw her with someone else. 'Cause that's one of many.
Should have asked her if she had a toe ring.
Oh shit! Do you have to
No,
Oh my god!
Then I'll have to like, you want to buy some? Once you ask that, you have to,
exactly.
like, oh, when we see the feet, you have money. It's just
How would you, first of all, how are you supposed to know that getting a divorce? How are you supposed to know, like, it's,
Yeah.
us as bartenders, we're supposed to know a lot more than we, Like, I have these guests that come in all the time. This one girl up in my new spot, she has a different man every single week. She uses the bar to test out guys. So we have this kind of look. If she looks at me and winks, her and I are now friends today. I could butt into conversations, I could joke. But if she doesn't make eye contact at first,
You have to pretend you don't know her.
I don't know her. So you kind of have to play both games. So she's walking in the wink. I'm like, what's up, girl? How you doing? How you? Well, what's your name? And he's like, oh, this is Boom. But she's just like,
So
no eye
which is the one she likes? If she doesn't want eye contact, she doesn't want to be bothered.
she doesn't want. She wants me to basically be her
Sounding board kind of.
Yeah, like I want fly on the wall. She's
Yeah.
like, okay, what did you pick up on? Like she'll like next week she'll come in. She's like, so how do you feel about that guy?
Yeah.
He was
Wow.
okay, basic, whatever. Typical new guys coming next month. Oh, this one, you know,
Okay.
It happened to a guest in Lowell too. Like she would, no names. She would like honestly, she'll come every. I think it was Monday or Wednesday. I was working. She had a different guy every single time. He's got to buy her stuff. You know, we all might know who she is. She's not allowed too much anymore, but
I see a pattern, Luta.
yeah, it happens to me all the time. I'm always in a situation.
You're just that trustworthy.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, okay. It's always, I'm just like, why am I in this situation? And then when the guy asks you, like, do you know, when she goes to the bathroom, do you know who she is? Like, absolutely no. I have no idea. And one time I'll like fuck up and make the special routine automatically. Then ask you want a dark or creamy. So he's like, you sure you don't know who she is? Nah, bro.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You know what I do?
She looks like she could either be dark or creamy. I wasn't sure.
I know.
She looks like she likes it dark. I can't
Oh, yeah, that's true.
because it doesn't sound like it comes out of my mouth. Yeah.
Either way.
All right.
What about
My
you?
turn. It actually happened a couple weeks ago.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
God, I was
It doesn't happen often.
Okay.
It doesn't happen often, but it was just very interesting to me. So this guy comes in, he sits down, and he just orders a drink. I think it was like a Jack and Coke. And then he finishes his Jack and Coke. He sees,
good. So it wasn't too good.
he sees how I pour it. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be your friend. And I'm just like, I'm pouring it normally. But little does he know I pour it for like that for everyone. Also, like, and he's like asking for a light beer. Like he goes like kind of like a Bud Light. I was like, we don't have Bud Light. We mainly have like Japanese beers, Korean beers, or like craft beers. So I
Buddha
make,
beer, which I love.
yeah. So I make I make a comparison to like a Bud Light. We'll give him the lightest beer. Give him that, and he starts asking about the Japanese whiskey, and I let him taste one. I was like, yeah, like if this might be your style because like we have like a smoky one. It was the IY actually that I let him taste. It's like very Scotch like sweet finish, and he has a glass of that, and like that first experience was amazing. He's like, wow, like you're cool, like you're very knowledgeable. I'm like, I'm honestly not. Like this is the same. I say the same shit. Yeah.
Just go
And
back.
then a couple of days later, he comes in, gets the exact same thing, and then like the exact same thing. It was a Jack and Coke, 2 of the beers, and 2 of the Japanese whiskey. And I hand him his check, and he just like he pays, and he looks at the receipt. He's like, "Why am I being overcharged?" And like he's like, I'm sitting here and I'm staying here because like you double charged me for like the whiskey. I'm like, bro, you were here a couple of days ago and you had the exact same thing. And he like tries to make a scene, and like Pete's behind me because like normally I don't get like loud,
Yeah.
but I was just like I was like, we can.
What did
like,
Pete
I
say?
can. He's like kind of just hang out. Then Pete just like ends up talking to him, and like he just ends up leaving. And like I just like I never get like mad like that, but I was like, bro, like you literally just like I'm already hooking you up, and like you try to freaking not pay. He also didn't tip, so
Oh,
yeah, I was like,
I'm always surprised when people go out. That they're if you're going out, right,
mhm.
you got to know you're going to spend some money,
Yeah.
right? And when people start complaining or like nickel and diamond on a bill or something, you're like,
Mhm.
why'd you go out? You
Exactly.
know, like the matter you shouldn't go out with the expectation of like I don't know, like
But still, like it was the same price as the first
Yeah.
time he came.
Yeah.
So like I was just very confused. I was like, okay, I see what type of person you are.
I mean, I went to one of my locals. I went to, and I walk in. You know, I got the bill, paid the bill. It seemed a little off. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize. You know, I drank that much. You know, whatever. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't really. It's not like I count.
Mm-hmm.
Next week I came in and the bartender was like, hey, I gave you the wrong bill.
Oh.
you know, I owe you like $30 or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, I'm like, I didn't even notice, you know? He's like, I'm like, well, just let me know when I hit 30 and we'll call it even, you know what I mean? And it was just, you know, it worked. Huh?
That was a good one.
Yeah, so, I mean, it worked out fine. I was like, wow. But then I'm like, I don't really look at it.
Itemized one.
Yeah, because why would I? You know?
Same.
I mean,
I
a
need
lot
to.
of people do.
Like, oh, you know, it's like, I don't know, like, why is this so expensive? And I just,
I briefly look at it and then I'm like, okay, I was like, that
You
sounds
know where
right.
you at. You know, like usually like
It's like that sounds right.
how much you spent.
I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one time we
Like
went
9
to
shots. I did that.
the Tuscan. I don't even know if they still do this because they're not open for lunch anymore. The one in Salem, or they are like on the weekend or something. But they used to have half off wine every Wednesday. So we went in there and I ordered a wine and I thought I ordered one, but I think I was maybe in between two, and I said the one I wasn't gonna buy, which is fine. Then I drank it. Then I got the bill and I was like, oh. Can I see the list again? Like, I just want to double check. I knew what I had, and then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what I drank. Yeah, you charged me, right? Like, that was the correct thing.
Yeah.
But she was like, she was so nervous that, like, she messed up. I was like, no, it was fully me. I just wanted to, like, make sure.
I would have checked myself.
Yeah, like, you're good. I'm going to pay for it. I'll just
well, no,
make sure.
I don't know how bartenders keep track of, like, when people stop buying drinks for each other.
It's the worst.
Oh my God. Yeah, it is the worst.
You know what I hate?
Especially when it's like a group, like a big group, you know?
Oh,
They're like, put this on my tab. I was like,
I hate the people that come in and expect to get hooked up.
Oh,
Like, I feel like that happens a lot. You guys get that?
mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, I come here all the time. Like, where's my free drink? When you give them the tab, and they look at the tab, and they look at you, look back at the tab. Like, yeah, everything's there.
Yeah, everything that you ordered.
What
Yeah.
did you? Is this not normal to you? It's one of those things.
Right.
If you expect it, I'm not gonna like
100%.
give you that shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm that person that if I saw that you took a tab for all your friends, you're racking this up, and I see that there's like 10 drinks on that, you maybe had 3 of those. I'm like, you know what? Put down your tab. Here's a shot. You deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the ones that look at their tab and are like, yeah, I thought this shot was on the house. Like, no, you ordered shots. So I'm gonna
Yeah, straight up.
charge you for your shots. I might not put mine on there because I'll pay for mine, but all your buddies, like, you're gonna pay for that, and they just look at you with a cold stare, like, we're friends.
I'm just happy with it.
Not free.
I never expect anything free, but what I do love is that, especially when you're downtown a lot and you go into a place and you don't have to order your first drink.
Well, you always drink the same thing.
I always drink the same thing. And I love the fact that I can just.
It happened earlier, like when we were at Fuse.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Like,
And I bet
Guinness. I was like, okay.
I love that.
And before that, I knew that we were like in a podcast together.
Yeah. I'm like, there you go. And I'd rather have that than like expect a free whatever, you know?
I really
People expect it. I hate it. I've just noticed it's been more of a culture, like, you gonna take care of me? Like, no,
absolutely
I don't
not.
care how many times I see you a week. No, you expect it, so I'm definitely not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I do have so how many, you were just talking about like you ordered wine, right? And you sell wine. And how many glasses of wine are in a wine bottle?
4.
Well, 2, depending.
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying,
One,
like,
depending how you drink.
I'm always amazed at the price of a bottle of wine versus like just a glass of wine. I'm like, I don't know why people don't just order.
Yeah, do you do
bottle?
bottles or do you do glasses?
You do bottles.
If I
don't
go
you?
out, I want a bottle of wine.
But you do them at Fuse? You do bottles.
You can
don't
buy
you?
a bottle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I go out, I usually want a bottle because the stuff on the glass list is just
Yeah.
snob. Sorry. Just so my
If I'm
wine.
like with someone, and we're both drinking wine, I would just suggest
Get a
doing
bottle.
you know, instead
Yeah.
of like glass by glass.
Yep.
Up
Or,
until
like,
I
or a
was,
Magnum bottle, Prosecco.
so I'm 51. I didn't really start drinking wine on the regular till probably like in my early 40s. And I got to say, it's one of those things you're like, this shit's good. Like, it's a different kind of.
It's a different kind of drunk.
Yeah, good wine's good, bad wine is bad.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so my experience had been with, I either had really good wine, like occasionally, like I'd be at my dad's or, you know, some Italian dinner or something, we'd have really good wine. Or I had like Boone's Farm. You know what I mean? So I never learned like the
Barefoot.
whole,
Barefoot. Sutter Home.
Oh, what was that?
Cupcake.
Sutter Homes is the one that I used to,
Sutter Home.
yeah, I dated a girl
Those
that
were
liked
top
that,
ones.
and it was just it was the bear. One of them was terrible, and then there was one with
Oh,
there was like some
Probably all made in the same place.
there was some Australian one that was bad too.
Yellowtail.
Yeah,
Yellow Tail.
do not like that.
I know all of them. Like I come from a family that drinks bad wine. So now they drink good wine because I always have wine because of my job. But for the most part, the boxed wine, that was them for decades.
Mm.
I will say though, every now and then I can't drink Bud Light anymore. I can drink a Bud Heavy, but I can't drink Bud Light. And I can't drink Miller Lite anymore. And I don't know what
Any of the lights.
I can drink Heineken, and I can drink Heineken Light, and I can drink like I think the Buddha beer is a pretty light.
Buddha beer is
That's a
good.
pretty light beer.
I've been drinking Sapporo Light.
Sapporo Light's good.
Yeah,
The Modelo's are good, but like
That was good too.
Bud Light, I can't even like.
I can't do it. I can drink Coors Light, but I can't drink Bud Light.
I think I OD'd on it when I was in my 20s and 30s. Like it was just I get too much corn syrup in me now, and it doesn't even it doesn't work. But it changes as you get older. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But up until I was 40, no wine, and now I'm like, and the best thing to do is like I don't pretend like I know anything. I'll just say like, hey, I want a good bottle of wine, and whoever like our friend Nancy, she has decent taste in wine, or like you go to like the Athenian has good. I gotta ring the bell every time I mention the Athenian. They have good. They have a couple of good wines there, and I'm like, we just call it Nancy wine. So wherever I go, I'm like,
Nancy
I'll just
wine.
get
Yeah,
the
Nancy has
wine.
her own secret wine list.
Nancy.
She does. So I'm like, can I
Yeah.
get the Nancy wine? But once you find somebody that knows their wine, you can get turned on a really good wine.
Yep.
With food, it's the best. So
Without food.
With or without food.
wine and cheese, but that's where
Wine and
it's at.
cheese.
Wine and some charcuterie.
Swear. I typically open a bottle of wine, but if I'm going to be drinking wine that day, I open up dinner to like start cooking, and then like you use some in the food,
Mm-hmm.
and then you like done cooking, you finish that, open another bottle to eat with. So it's a process.
Yeah. Good
You
stuff.
like do like a bottle and a half done for me at least. I don't know about you.
I just don't want to get water by the glass. One thing I like shoveling, if I'm shoveling when I'm done, I sit outside and I have a whiskey.
Oh,
That's a great
In
way
cold?
in the cold. Just sit outside, sip on a whiskey. Good way to end the shoveling.
I haven't thought of
You gotta reward yourself after hard work.
I just don't want to be outside.
Yes.
I love it. I love it out in the
I hate
cold.
being cold.
Oh, ice fishing too. Like bring out a nice bottle of whiskey, drink that for a good part of the day.
Oh.
Good stuff. Any last thoughts?
No.
I felt like I had a lot more to say,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to incriminate myself.
I feel like you have a lot of incriminating stories that I'd like to hear at some
I
point.
do.
Don't we all?
I don't think you're
Yeah.
going to hear him.
Good man. Good man. Well, thank you guys for coming on. This is fun. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having us.
Especially because I've been had the pleasure of being your patron, and I've definitely been with you at the Oak Court, among other places. And I see you every now and then, so it's good to have you guys in and talk to you. So, as just thank you for tuning in, everybody. Inside, did I even say we're in Inside Lowell? This is Inside Lowell. You can check out other podcasts on YouTube or on Spotify or on the Inside Lowell homepage. There's articles up there and obituaries if you want to see who's dead. Check it out. Local news, everything else.
On that note.
Have a great night. We'll be back soon.
All right.